Hey guys, Mustache here. Here's another part of the R2 project. This time we're working on the head. Of course, I'm from the future where this is already done. I have him hidden over here. He looks great. Well, his head looks great. The legs aren't done yet. Legs are half done as I'm filming this. So, hope you like it and enjoy the voiceover. So here we are getting into the deconstruction of the head. As you can see, I'm using that Duracell screwdriver that you guys like. It wasn't that hard to do the deconstruction, especially on these little eye bulbs, or the cameras. And you'll see later that I kind of have a problem with the cameras. So right now I'm having a problem because I need to take other parts off before I can take the front camera off. So I'm trying to get majority of those pieces out. I find out I have to take out the center kind of electrical part before I take the last little bulb out. And then you'll see as well, like the way I'm putting them into my trays. I'm putting them in order of where they go on the head. I think the very top I had as the top, then I had the one as the front, and then I had the other one as the back. Here I zoom in so you can try to maybe see a little more, but I'm horrible with camera angles. See, so I'm still trying to get that out, and I still can't get it out. And so I finally break down and take this piece out, which is the last piece. So those two are the LEDs that power the front camera lights. See, and I'm still having a problem with getting it out. So I'm taking out the two. I end up taking out the other one. I took out the first one. The kind of diffuser, kind of like tinted part that helps with the light. So now I'm trying to just kind of pry it off, because I think it was a little glued as well. So now we have that out, looking at it, we have everything off, and then here are all my pieces. So we have the top, the front, and the back. Now we're silver, so we got that silver on there. Looks way better. And then here's my kind of, like I said, I was labeling these to show which ones they are. And then with this, I'm actually trying to cut some circles for the lenses, but they don't actually work. So here I have B, T, and so that's the bottom, or the back, the top, and then the front is how I have that like labeled. And then here I am looking at the reference photos that I have, like I have before, just to make sure I have the right masking. And here's where like my nails really come in handy. I like having the nails so I can mask off or push down the tape pretty good. Another thing too is that the two circles right, or the two squares right there where normally the lights would come out, that's to remain silver. And then here I am using this kind of it's kind of like a vinyl tape, so I can try to get around corners. I thought it could help me get into the kind of crevices a little better. It didn't really help. I ended up just sticking with the yellow tape. If you're wondering, I'm using the Tamiya tape as well. You'll see me use the thin tape a lot because I ran out of the fat tape and I just never went back to get some. I usually use the fat tape more often. I think I have the tape around here somewhere. Let me see. The thin tape I'm using is the Tamiya 6mm width. But like I said, I usually use the bigger one, so I don't have the bigger spool around me. But it's like double the size, so it's probably the 12mm, if that's something that they sell. So, got the dome all taped up. So everything that's not taped up or covered by the paper is going to be the copper color. I did go through and paint the lenses silver already, and then I did do the black because the ball portion of the lenses is black. The top and the holders of the lenses are completely silver, no black, Yeah, you could. I probably filmed another piece before this one that showed me trying to tape the inside of the lenses, but upon looking at a few other pictures, they are completely silver, so I don't need to paint them or keep them black. So the color is probably hella weird in this room because of the lights in here. So I'm gonna mix up this copper color and then get everything going. I kind of use this little dropper just to make sure everything's cool. Kind of develop my own ratios a bit. Probably way more than I actually need here. We want that, we're going through the airbrush. You'll see it in multiple videos. You need to go for that milky consistency to get a good spray in your airbrush. Again, that new penny is what we're using. And then my thinner. I'm gonna wash my brush off and then paint this dome. Living in California, you realize that it is super hot, so I keep all my parts inside my garage and then let them kind of like, it's like a hot box in there, so I let it just dry out in there. Here is those black parts I was talking about. So those are all dried up now. I just need to clear coat those, and those would be cool. I use some blue tack to kind of keep them protected. So the lenses don't, you know, end up being black. So we'll go ahead and get this copper sprayed. So here I am starting to do the copper on there. I usually spray a little bit on my hand and then go ahead and go for the spray. As you can see, I'm wearing kind of a bandana as I spray. I don't have a mask. I really should be wearing a mask. Upon moving, I kind of lost some of my paint stuff, or, you know, it's just in storage. So, like I said, here I am. The copper color goes on pretty well if my mix is correct. Last night I ended up painting some and it wasn't, so I had to repaint a little bit. So what I usually do is I'll go ahead and, like I said, it's hot in my garage. I live in Southern California, I should clarify. But what I do is I'll go ahead and I'll spray a bit. I'll let that dry as I'm spraying another section. Go over it a little more. Especially with this metallic, you kind of want more of a mist coat. And then go again. Mist coat, go again. And it ended up coming out really well. So I'm super happy with how that turned out. So here I am getting ready to take off all that paper. And you can really see the difference, like the contrast between the silver and, you know, the new penny. And I especially think with some of my paints, I didn't need to do the kind of silver base coat because you can't see it on some sections. But, you know, it does make it all the better because some spots are silver. Not to mention the paint I'm using is a double, like, it's a regular paint, but it's also a primer. Peeling off the tape to reveal, like, how good you taped or how bad you taped can be definitely a great feeling and a horrible feeling, just because if you didn't do it well, then you'll see all the spots that don't look that great. But then if you did do it well, then it's super rewarding. Boom, there it is, all done. Well, not all done, but the part's done. I use this little knife here to do some of my like cutaways. I really like it just because it's sharp as well as it's curved, so it's not like I'm pushing onto it. I can be super light with some of the cuts sometimes. Usually a couple passes will do pretty well. And this section, the eye remains silver right there. So now I need to tape off all that copper. and now we're painting that black. The cool thing is that, you know, this black, once this black goes on, it's done. The head is finished. And I showed you guys I'm using the Tamiya gloss black for that. I ended up going through, I'm close to being finished, but I think I ended up grabbing 4 of these because they're small cans, they're not big cans. Here I'm just trying to make sure I get, there's a little bolt part up top. Got to make sure I try to get that. And then I'm trying to get the bottoms as well. Here's that black on there. I'm about to pull that tape off. Everything has been sealed up with the gloss coat. So going over here, I'm going to grab this guy and just show off what he looks like all black with that. So that looks pretty cool. So I'll go ahead, actually let's turn this around so it's the right way. So bam, should be like that, but you're missing that big eye and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and get everything reconstructed and throw this back on. So here we are starting the reconstruction of the head. I had a few tiny problems, but overall it was an easy construction. I had a problem with that front camera, which you'll probably end up seeing unless it gets cut out. And then here I am removing the tape, of course, so you can kind of see how everything looked after that. Oh, if you look at the back there too, that silver stripe is not there, so that's technically not canon to the color scheme. But the difference being is that on the actual one, it's like a small LED panel that has a bunch of different LED colors, and I didn't want to paint like every single square of the color. I probably could. I messed up, and I painted this bronze. It should have been silver. Good job. Real good job. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure I am right in messing up there. Nope. I'm okay. See that little piece right there is bronze. So we're okay. We're okay. So after that little mix-up, we get right back into it. Like I said, I really thought I messed up on that, but I didn't. Here I am trying to take off some of the blue tack. Some of the blue tack ended up staying on my kind of like the ball portion, because it's just a giant ball joint with the lens on it. And it kept, like, it wouldn't want to come off, so I ended up having to leave like some of it on, but I took off most of it. And then here I am using a Tamiya thin cement to glue those lenses back into their cases, which was a whole nother issue. They really clip in tight, and so if you don't get past like the little lip of it, it won't go in correctly. So here we are screwing the first lens back in, and switch the angle here so you guys can see a little better. Like I said, here's that, you can see some of that blue tack stuck on that one, putting that cement on there, sticking that ball in there and trying to go, and I really had to squeeze it on some, like, because it, like on this one, it wouldn't let me put it back in because it was like the tiniest bit off. So we finally got it back in. I ended up getting it back in like off camera. I forgot what I did. I think I just ended up putting the covering the piece that's shown first, and then putting the other one down, and then like really pushing it down. And then I was able to get that front one on at the same time too. Or no, that was the front one and the other one on. And then this one also gave me trouble because you have to actually I put this one on, got everything together, and you actually have to put, like, there's an order of operations, which I tried to remember, but you have to put the lens on first, and then a part of the electrical first, and then, you know, that on. And then here I am, I was like, oh wait, there's still tape here, so I ended up just taking off that tape. So boom, there's that. So now here we are putting on that electrical, and here I go, oh wait, I can't put that on unless I take the lens off. Because I thought it was just a slide down, because if you look on the other side, it looks like it just slides in. And I tried this for a while, thinking I could just do it without it. Actually, no, I don't have that eye on. So technically, I think there's another piece that I had on. Oh, I had the black lens for one of the lights. And so I ended up having to take that off, screw this in, then put that back in, so that, you know, everything would fit in. So it ended up going lens, electrical, then the ball lens. See, so there's the ball lens there. So we can push that back in, get that screwed in, and then here's the base electrical. It's really kind of cool how everything just fits onto the, like, everything has these like 5-pin connections that once those get pushed, that ignites all the electrical. It's super simple, but it's really nice. Okay, so as you saw in the previous clip, head is done. You can see here. Wow, this guy looks great. The one thing I was worried about was those, see how the ball is of the camera right there? It's black on the inside and then silver on the lens, the focal, or the kind of like thing on the lens, and then the little ball joint holder. So I was worried that the paint would like rub off on all those, but it's actually doing pretty good. So I'm stoked on that. We're gonna put this on this guy right now. Boom, so there he is. Make sure we're in focus. Body and head. Head swiveling right. Let's see those lights. Those look great. And then you can see it when it hits the light right there. Which I usually don't wear my ring when I paint, but my ring was on and I caught that piece there. And that's really making me mad. So I'm probably going to try to paint over that a little bit so you don't see it. But this guy's looking freaking great. Look at that. Ooh, yeah. Boom, so that's the end of video 2 of the R2 project. This guy is looking great. I don't know if I got like a really good, you know, view of him in the part before this, but dang, dude, I'm so happy with that. Let's throw this guy in play real quick. Like I said, the major thing, taping super pays off when doing a project like this, because look at my taping has made this guy look so good. He doesn't sound funky at all. His head is super solid as it would be, you know, when I bought it from Batu from the Droid Depot. And all the lights work. That's all I cared about. So now we're starting on the legs in the next part. I've already got the third leg taken apart. This one's put back together to get this guy ready for paint. So you should see that next. Got to get these legs going. And remember, these legs accept some electrical as well. So got to make sure all the electrical on here is good. The legs should be less extensive as all of this. The body being the most extensive, head being the second, and the legs should be easier. So that'll be great. If you guys liked the video, this is the second one, like I said. If you liked it, you know, make sure to stay tuned for the next one. Drop the remote for the R2 unit, as well as I'll be painting the remote. So maybe I'll do the remote and the legs in the same video, depending on how long they take. So, mustache again. Like the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the next one. Peace.